Well, guys. You know our names, Vicente,
And Izzy.
Izzy, yep. And it's been a while since we've done a video, camera. Testing out some new equipment. We have a Logitech 4K camera. It looks pretty good. I hope it looks good to you guys. Izzy, we did our best. We want to make the best video for you guys. Now, the video you guys been waiting for. The lead up to our wedding, the week of our wedding day, and our honeymoon.
Oh my goodness, this is gonna be a great video.
Yeah, it was some bumps in the road, not big ones, but some minor ones. But all of it ended up being beautiful in the end, and I just love it. And we're happily married, and it was a long time coming.
Yeah, all the stress with the wedding and the honeymoon and making sure everything went well was 1000% worth it.
It was worth it. And I told Izzy, yeah, there were times where it got stressful that, we didn't argue, but there were times where it's like, leave me alone right now, but it was beautiful. It was totally worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing my family get together with hers, everyone just bonded so well.
Yeah, and just seeing both of our families together in one place, I will say, was pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a beautiful day. That's all I can really say. It's hard to describe it. All right, so should we start with the week of the wedding? The lead up to it? I think we should.
Okay.
All right, so how did you feel, babe? Because I felt, what's funny is that I felt ready. Like, it felt like any other week. I just felt normal. What would you say?
For me, it felt pretty normal. I mean, like, literally, I was still working, like, the 3 days before we left. So everything was pretty normal other than making sure we packed everything and had everything we wanted. But I was nervous, but I was more nervous to make sure everything would go right rather than nervous to marry you.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I wasn't nervous, because I was nervous just because, like, I wanted everything to go smoothly. I know we were going to have hiccups, but I was hoping for not, like, major hiccups, and thank God none of it happened. And here comes Tuesday. I'm like, oh yeah, let's get going. And I had to go pick up my Nana from the airport with my mom. Awesome. My Nana loved Izzy. My whole San Diego family loved Izzy. And
yeah.
it made me happy that they loved Izzy. And here comes Wednesday. It's like, all right, cool. Getting a little closer. We're packing up all the things, trying to make sure, we have, like, because we were going to bring food, because, I was thinking a hotel, Izzy was thinking an Airbnb. We're trying to make sure that, we weren't going to spend too much money, because the wedding itself was a pretty penny. It was worth it, but it was still a pretty penny. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure we had all our bags organized, her wedding dress organized, my wedding outfit organized. It was just, there's times it's like, it was kind of a hassle. It's like, fuck, let's make sure we have everything in here. Let's make sure we don't forget anything. So I was triple checking again. It got a little too much.
Yeah, it was making sure that we had everything so we didn't have to spend money last minute because we forgot something major.
I know, like, let me just say this. I kept making sure I had, like, my tie and vest in my bags. And even though I seen it, like, not even 5 minutes later, it's like, let me go check again. And it's just like, it was kind of paranoia a little bit, just because, like, I didn't want to forget anything. I wasn't trying to forget anything. I made sure the groomsmen, their shirts fit. Everything went smoothly. And here comes Thursday. Or no, I think you guys left Wednesday, right? Your family went up.
We left Thursday.
Yeah. So they left Thursday. I'm home alone. And I have some time to reflect to myself. I'm just like, I'm excited. Getting there. My best man, my brother Alex, he calls me on Thursday. He's like, you ready, bro? Like, this is it. No backing out. I'm like, yeah. I'm ready. Like, like, I was nervous, but I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's do this shit. Yeah, let's go. And what's funny is that Spiderman 2, midnight release. Of course, I went to go get it. I pre-ordered it, and no, I didn't stay behind just for Spider-Man 2. I actually stood behind to go pick up my nephew from his home so he can come to my wedding. And here comes Friday, and how were you feeling on Friday setting up for the venue? Because I wasn't there, which I'll explain why.
Yeah, so Friday was a lot. We woke up at like 8 a.m. that morning. We grabbed breakfast for everybody who was helping out. And then we headed out to the wedding. And then basically the entire venue is kind of like a rusty barn wedding. So it already had like its own pizzazz. So we just had to add everything and set up the tables and everything. So I think the first thing we did were the centerpieces, and oh my goodness. The centerpieces when we were planning our wedding were like the first things that I'm like, okay, I have to do that. We have to do that. And what they ended up being was a wood round with a glass jar filled with popcorn and a pop figure filled with fairy lights.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna show a picture now. We're gonna show a picture right now. Somewhere there was one. I was Luke Skywalker, Red Hood, Spider-Man, Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park, and it was cool. And so, like I said, Friday morning, I left from Stockton to go pick up my nephew up north, and I go get breakfast with them, and he asked me, he's like, Uncle Chente, are you ready to get married? I'm all like, yeah, sure, I'm ready to get married, and it was awesome. And then I drive down to the venue, normally, help out set up, and then me and Izzy had to go back to your Airbnb for what?
To get ready, I think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, to get ready.
Get ready for the rehearsal.
Oh, yeah, the rehearsal dinner, yeah. So this is where kind of like the minor bumps in the road happened, but I think we were kind of prepared for it because I was like, one of my brother Victor let me know ahead of time that he wasn't going to be able to make it to the rehearsal dinner, and that's fine. And so the lead up to the rehearsal dinner is when finally most of my family meets Izzy's family, and I'm not going to lie, our families really got along together.
They really did.
Yeah, and like I'm not trying to trash like other families that don't get along, because of course, like when you marry into another family, families do typically get along, but ours like really got along.
They did. And I mean, it's not like we weren't worried they weren't going to get along, but there's always that little bit of fear. What if this person doesn't mix match with that person and something happens?
Yeah, and most of it I just think because it's like I'm a completely different person, different background and everything. But no, everyone just kind of clicked. Like, it made me happy seeing my dad talk to her dad, or even just relatives from her side of the family, and just even her relatives talking to my parents, or any of my brothers, or just any of my family that was there. And so it brought warmth to our hearts. The rehearsal dinner was fun. We weren't fancy. It was just pizza. We're not fancy like that. We're a little ghetto.
Yeah.
And so the rehearsal, I would say, went pretty well, even though it was like dark as hell, and there was like a little like wooden thing on the ground. And so me and everyone else told Izzy, when you walk down the aisle, please look out and do not trip and fall.
I did not fall on my face that night.
No, thank God she didn't. That would have been bad the day before the wedding or the day of the wedding. Oh, yeah, no, that would have been bad. And so, and this is where I'm going to talk about the minor hiccups. So I knew my brother Victor wasn't going to be able to make it, but my two other groomsmen, my little brothers, RJ and Aubrey, I don't want to say that they didn't let me know ahead of time, because in some way they did, but at the same time, they made it seem like they're going to make it to the rehearsal dinner, and when they never showed up, I'm just like, okay, it's fine, because my brother Alex and Raymond, they're there, they're remembering all the setup about where to go, where to walk, who's walking with who, blah, 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 all that shit, and I can trust my brothers Alex and Raymond easily. They're trustworthy. I can trust them. Not saying I don't trust my brothers, but Alex and Raymond, even as you will agree, they'll get that shit done. Yeah, they'll make sure it get done. And then rehearsal dinner's over. Everyone's just kind of talking, blah, blah, blah. And then her Uncle Toby comes up to me. He's like, Vicente, are you ready for this? I'm like, yeah, Uncle Toby, yeah, I'm ready. And my Theo Pete and my Tia Chantel, they just loved Izzy. Yeah, my primo Peter, she's already met Izzy. Yeah. But my prima Miranda and my Nana and my Theo Peter and my Tia Chantel and some other relatives never met Izzy. And they did. And they loved her, and it's like, okay, cool. I knew they would love her just because they watch her podcasts too. And so, but it still brings that warmth to my heart. And how did it make you feel? I know you're going to say good, but like, were you worried that they weren't going to like you?
I mean, I was worried that, I don't know, like, it was my first time meeting them, so you're always, like, it's my wedding day, but also it's my first impression on meeting these people, so I want it to go well, and I don't want to seem like a bridezilla, which I wasn't.
No, thank God, no. But, I mean, yes, you wanted things done, but it's a wedding. It's a day about us.
Yes.
It's our day, where we want it to be good. We know it's not going to be perfect, but we want it to go smooth. That was our main thing. And then me and Izzy say our goodbyes at the rehearsal dinner, and I tell her, I look at her eyes and say, babe, tomorrow's the real deal. Are you ready? She's like, yeah, I'm ready. What was it? 2.5 years, 3 years in the making.
3 years.
Planning, 3 years planning all that. it was like, damn, this is it. Just because I wanted her to finish college, we wanted to save up money and pay for stuff. And I'm very thankful our family helped out with stuff. You know, shout out to you guys, Izzy's family, my family. Thank you guys. Even if it wasn't like, you know, helping pay for like some small stuff, just giving us advice, just being there. You know, especially to my brother Alex and Sarah, you guys rocked, helping us with like where to play some music at, or music recommendations, or just anyone who is just there to talk to us. It means a lot to us. Yeah. And here comes the morning of wedding day. Okay. And Izzy, do you want to start first with how it went for you?
I mean, okay, so the morning of the wedding, I woke up. I was actually staying with my best friend Julie at her Airbnb. And then we drove over that morning to my parents' Airbnb to get ready with all the girls. And I mean, I was nervous, but I felt ready. I was excited. I had my coffee. I was ready. You can't have a day without coffee. Oh, yeah. I was ready. I was excited. All the hair and makeup, I think, went pretty smoothly. I mean, there were a few things where it's like, okay, we'll fix this. But at the end of the day, I have to thank my aunt who helped with all the girls' hair. And it just... I think without her, I don't think the makeup and ready would have been done well.
No, your Aunt Titi did a good job. Yeah. She made all of you guys look beautiful. You and your bridesmaids. Anything else you want to add before I tell my story about what happened with me on the morning of?
I mean, last thing I want to add is that I think it felt really real when the photographer came to the house and started taking getting ready pictures.
Yeah, that would make it feel real. Holy shit. You know, just because me and Izzy, we communicated, but that's going to be a minor bump, which I'll talk about. Anything else you want to add, Izzy?
Just, I was excited. I was ready. And, I mean, I think at the end of it, I was excited.
Yeah. Lots of love, lots of excitement. That's Izzy's side of the morning of the wedding. Now, let's talk about mine. Oh, and, like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. Everything worked out perfectly, but the morning of the wedding... I'm going to the bathroom, you know, and I hear someone come into my hotel room, and I'm like, and I have my two nephews in there. I'm like, what the hell? And then my brother Victor, he ends up showing up early in the morning. He's like, hey, Vicente, are you in there? I'm like, oh shit, Victor, you're here already? He's like, hell yeah, bro. And like, that made me happy. You know, I did not think he was going to pop up at 6 in the morning. I thought maybe, you know, 10, 11, something like that. But 6 in the morning, that made me feel happy. I'm like, damn, let's go. And here I'm thinking RJ and Aubrey went with them. And this is where things kind of start getting a little fucked up. People are texting them where they're at, you know. They don't respond at all. No one's responding for a while. I'm like, okay, no, we still got a few hours before we take photos and the whole ceremony. And me and my son and the family, we go get breakfast at this beautiful little diner. It was awesome. Food was amazing. And I'm like, yeah, I feel good. You know, my whole family's asking me, you look nervous? I'm like, no, I'm ready. Let's go. Shit, let's go. I'll do it right now. You know, I'll get married right now. You know? And so we go back to the hotel room. And of course, there's a big UFC card, you know, happening that day. But it's happening like out of the States. I think like in London or something like that. Yeah. So my brother Raymond has the fight on his iPad. So my brothers Alex and Victor go to Raymond's room. We're watching a fight, you know, having a little fun, doing a little brother talk and stuff like that. And this is where I get kind of some minor bad news. My little brothers, RJ and Aubrey, said that they were barely on the way. And mind you, I had to be at the venue, what was it, like 3 or 4, something like that? I would say 3, right?
3.
3. And it was like 12 p.m. But here's the thing. Yes, it's an hour away, but you have to get dressed. You have to make sure everything's ready. And the hotel wasn't really the easiest to find. And I'm flipping the F out because he says he's on his way. And I have 10 minutes later, he's like, oh, hold on, I'm getting my haircut real quick. And to me, it's all like, why didn't you get your haircut on Friday, the day before we had all this free time? That's what pissed me off. And then my brothers Alex and Raymond told me, I'm pissed off. I want to kick their ass. You know, not because I'm mad, but it's like, what the fuck? I told you guys be here at this time.
Yeah.
It's my wedding day. I need all my groomsmen, all my brothers here. And my brother Alex was heated. He looked like he was going to kick their ass too. Raymond was ready to kick their ass. Even Victor. And this is my brother Victor. I love you, Victor, you know. But my brother Victor, yeah, he's, you know, whatever with all the lovey-dovey shit. But he understands it's my day, you know. And he wants it to be good for his little brother, of course. And so I'm flipping out. I'm getting mad. I walk out of the room, you know, because I need to calm down. And I go up to my mom and my sister-in-law, Sarah. And I said, Mom, do you know what RJ and Aubrey said? And my mom's like, yeah, they just told us right now. And my mom looks visibly upset because it's her son's wedding day. She wants it perfectly. And this is where I make the mistake, and I'm owning up to it, where I said, you know what? Fuck RJ and Aubrey. I'm going to call him and be like, you know what, dude? Don't even bother coming out because that's some bullshit. Because it's my wedding day, and I would never do it to you because I know for damn sure if anyone ever pulled that crap on him, they would be mad. You know, I'm telling my sister-in-law, Sarah, and my mom this, like, no, fuck this. I'm going to call him right now. And this is where my sister-in-law, Sarah, fucking came in clutch, and I love her for it. She tells me, Vicente, I understand you're mad. You have every right to be. But if you tell him don't show up, it's going to make things worse. And I tell Sarah, no, but that's bullshit because this is my special day. This is my wedding day. Granted, I know it's more about the wife and stuff like that, but still, you know, like, I don't want my brothers coming to my wedding late or them not showing because then it's going to be embarrassing. It's embarrassing for me because it's like, you know, to me, I'm thinking that they never wanted to be part of it. And if you never did it, I was starting to say to myself, why didn't you just tell me? And I could have had 2 other people, you know, and then Sarah, you know, calms me down. She's like, Vicente, just calm down, please. You know, we have their shirts. Worst case scenario, they end up showing up late. We have my primo Peter and my nephew Elijah that are the same shirt size as RJ and Aubrey. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm going to calm down. And I told Izzy, and Izzy, what was your, like, when I texted you?
I mean, when you texted me, I was kind of freaked out, but I was mainly feeling really upset for you because those are your brothers, and I know how much you wanted them to be there and how much you expected them to be there.
Yeah, and, like, you know, they're my little brothers, and I know they're young, and everyone likes to have fun. But it's like, at some point, you kind of have to, like, put aside pride and just other things and be like, you know what? This is my brother's special day. This is his wedding day. You know, and then my brother Alex had already been coming to the room, you know, where I'm talking to my mom and Sarah. Mm-hmm. And he said, okay, we're going to tell RJ. And Sarah's like, no, we're not going to do that because it's going to make things worse. And my brother Alex he's mad because you know, he loves me. I'm his little brother. So is Raymond. He's like, and Raymond and Alex, they were like, nah, that's bullshit. That's hella stupid. Because God forbid if it was his wedding day, he would want everyone there. And that he would just, you know, he wouldn't be pulling this crap if it was his wedding day. Mm-hmm. You know, and like I said, I think my mom and my sister-in-law, Sarah, for calming us down, said, look, let's just give them a chance. And if they show up, they show up. If they don't, we have 2 backups. And everyone calmed down. Ended up working out because I think like 15 minutes later, RJ calls my mom and he's like, hey, we're almost there to the venue, blah, blah, blah. And so we're like, okay, we'll go to the venue, bring you guys your shirts, you know, suspenders and tie and everything else. And so it was like this big relief off of my chest and shoulders. Like, thank God, you know, because I was like somewhat prepared to replace them, you know, if he said, hey, we're not going to end up showing up. Mm-hmm. And as much as I would have fucking sucked and probably would have put a dent in my day, I have to move on. I got it. It's my wedding. Yeah. You know, unfortunately, it sucks, but I had to keep going on. And what's funny is that I was so close not telling Izzy that they were not going to make it. Yeah, I was like, fuck, if I don't tell her, she's going to be pissed. And is it going to be this whole chain reaction? So I get dressed and everything. Me and my groomsmen, we look good. You know, suspenders. I got a vest, tie, everything. We go in my brother's Alex's car. And we're driving up to the venue, which was only like a 7-minute drive from our hotel, which was nice. Thank God. So we get to the venue, you know, we get out of the car and we see RJ and Aubrey getting out of their car, you know, and I get their shirts, their ties, and suspenders, and I go up to them. And RJ, my little brother RJ, he did something that kind of surprised me that I don't really see him do. He looked at me, he's like, Vicente, I'm sorry, I couldn't be there early. Like, he felt it was a genuine apology. And I hugged him and looked at him, I said, you're here. You and Aubrey are here. That's all that matters. I don't care. Our Alex and Raymond will walk you through the whole process. You know, when we go up for the ceremony, who you guys are walking with, it's all under the bridge. We just got to go moving on.
Yeah.
So thankfully, that's like what I mean by minor bumps in the road, because it could have been very, very, very major, and it was starting to upset me. Now here comes the funny part. Izzy was at the venue too. And so we were old fashioned. I didn't want to see her in her wedding dress until the actual ceremony. And so everyone there had to communicate where she was at and where I was at so we wouldn't run into each other.
Mm-hmm. And so I think at that point when me and Julie got there, I was so relieved to see RJ and Aubrey there.
Yeah, she was like, oh, thank God. You know, she was kind of surprised, but I think like she was like, oh, no, yeah, they're probably waiting for him.
Yeah, I was so glad everything was figured out. So what happened is when I got there, since I came with Julie, I told her, I'm like, okay, you have to be my lookout. And I think from what she told me is she had everybody huddle around you to hide you, and then I ran into the bridal suite that was on the property.
Yeah. No, yeah. And I remember for some reason I wanted to look somewhere. I was like, nope, because if I do, I'm going to end up seeing her and it's going to ruin the surprise. Or not surprise, but you know.
Surprise.
And so, yeah. So me and my groomsmen, we get our boutonnieres and everything, our little Lego figure. You know, I get Spider-Man. My other brothers get like different superheroes, like little miniature Lego photos. And the photography for the groomsmen, they were fun. I had really fun with them. For you and the bridesmaids, how was it?
For me and the bridesmaids, it was really fun. We did some at the house. Unfortunately, one of my cousins actually had to leave early, who was a bridesmaid, so she was only in like half of the pictures. But other than that, it was really fun. I think the photographer that we had, I feel he was pretty cool. He kind of just like had us like do our own thing and be natural rather than like, okay, you have to do this and you have to do that.
Yeah. You know, our photographers were pretty cool. We had two of them.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty fun. You know, when I took photos, my groomsmen, we did all these funny poses. You know, like our photographer had a vision. And, you know, we're going to post our wedding photos on our social media. Make sure you're following us. We're going to have them down in the description below. Yeah. But they were just a lot of fun. And here comes the ceremony. And then, I forgot to mention this. The minute we were driving to the venue, all of a sudden I just get this weird feeling in my body. And I'm like, fuck. This is it. This is it. I'm like, and my brother, all my groomsmen noticed I was like a little, not uneasy or on nerve, but just like they could tell I was feeling something. And they're like, you know, like talking to me, trying to calm me down. And I'm like, I'm ready. Let's just get this over with. And this is where the tears start coming out. So, showtime. We're ready to go. Me and my groomsmen and my parents and my nana, we go up. We're getting ready to walk down the aisle. And my groomsmen go off onto the side. And in front of me are my nana and my dad, because my dad's going to walk by nana down the aisle. And I have my mom right next to me. You know, I'm kind of tearing up thinking about it right now. And my brother Alex comes up to me and he gives me the biggest hug. And he's tearing up a bit. And then I start tearing up. And he's like, I'm so happy for you. I'm proud of you. This is your day. It's beautiful. And there was a lot of emotions. And then my mom starts crying. And I look like a mess. We're going to show a photo right now what I look like crying. And yeah, I'm not afraid to admit it. It's my wedding day.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of emotions. It's a day, years in the making. You know, this whole day about us, finally. You know, we were talking about it for many years. And all of a sudden, it's just like, fuck. Is here, you know. And so ceremony starts. We walk down the aisle, so do my groomsmen. I see the bridesmaids. And then I see Izzy walk down with her dad, and this is where we both start crying. And a lot of emotions coming through me. Babe, how did you feel?
I felt a lot of emotions. I think as soon as I saw you crying, I started crying. And like I couldn't stop crying because like it was such a beautiful ceremony.
It's like I said, just years in the making. Just everything led up to this moment, and it's like it's here.
It's here.
It's here. You know. And then you can. That's no way to describe it. It's just here. And then we actually wrote our own vows.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted to be different, And I'm sorry, I'm trying not to break down. So like, excuse like if I take a little pause, because I'm trying not to break down. You know, I'm tearing up thinking about it. You know, and what's so cute is that our vows were almost the exact fucking same.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was cute, but that's how you know we're meant to be, because I like to tell people, even though we're the same, we're very, very different at the same time. Like I said, different background. Like, I love my sports. I love my classic rap. I like NWA, Pac, Biggie, Bone Thugs and Harmony. I love, you know, I'm a classic guy, you know, and I like punk rock and all that shit, you know. My boxing, MMA, football, somewhat of basketball, sometimes baseball if I'm in a mood for it. And here comes Izzy. And yes, you know, like I said, I like punk rock, but she likes her emo punk rock. I'm like, damn, I didn't think it was like this, you know. And she likes her musicals and all that. And we love the nerdy stuff and horror stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also nice just being that different. But just our vows were the exact same. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, we basically, I think like 3 out of our 5 points in each of ours were pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, I'm sorry, babe. Keep going.
It's okay. But it's basically, we basically just compliment each other, which I think is what makes us so great together.
Yeah, and it was just beautiful. And then we finally kiss and everyone's clapping. And this is where it gets to the annoying part.
Oh.
Yeah.
So after we walk down the aisle, this is when we get to the part where all the guests go to the reception and the wedding party gets to stay back and do pictures.
Yeah, and you know, I don't mind. I'm not really a photogenic person, but I do them for Izzy, you know, because she's my wife. You know, happy wife, happy life. That's what I'm going to tell you guys.
Have them for memories.
Oh, yeah. And so here I'm thinking, okay, maybe photos won't be that long. Maybe like 30 to 50 minutes. Not bad. Maybe an hour. And as much as I appreciate our photographer, he did not go off of Izzy's list, and he made it longer than what it should have been.
Yeah, that was one thing I was kind of upset about with our photographer. No offense to our photographer, but I wish he followed the list that I gave him that literally had him follow the order of people. So, like, the grandparents and the aunts and uncles can go sit down and eat while, like, the wedding party and immediate family can take pictures a little later. Mm-hmm. And so because he didn't follow that list, we took about an hour and a half with all of the pictures, and we were only allotted for like an hour. So it was just really stressful, and I felt like we weren't going fast enough, and it was just like, okay, when you think you're done, you're not actually done.
No, yeah, because he would make it seem like, and he's like, oh no, let's do this little pose right here. And like he said, I appreciate it because the photos came out beautiful, but at the time I'm just like, oh my god, dude, let's just fucking get this over with, damn it. And right when he's like, all right, we're done with photos, and we're like, yeah, he's like, however, bride, groom, bridesmaids, and groomsmen, I'm gonna need you guys in this area. We're gonna do some more photos. And I in my mind, I'm like, oh fuck. And Izzy had that look too. And I look at my groomsmen and I give him that look saying, dude, I am so sorry. I know I don't even want to be here right now. Fuck, you know, but the photos came out beautiful. We're gonna show some in a little bit right now, where, you know, you can see all the groomsmen, all the bridesmaids together, and they look cool. You know, very fun and stuff like that. And so we do it. That takes like about, what, I would say 20 to 25 minutes.
Yeah, about 20 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. And then right after that, we're like, okay, we think that's done. However, the photographer wanted to be nice and do a little extra, and he sends everyone off. And he's like, Izzy, Vicente, you guys stay behind. We're going to do 10 more photos, 10 more minutes of photos with just you two. I'm like, oh my god, where will it end? You know, like, it was going to, not annoying, but it's like, fuck, dude, let's just get this over with, you know? Yada, yada, yada. We do our photos. They came out beautiful. But I think the main thing is that we wanted to say hi to everyone, go around the tables and, you know, say hi to our loved ones and those that showed up.
Yeah.
And then finally we get to our wedding thing. We get to the party, to the reception. Everyone makes their entrance. And our entrance, we're going to show a clip right now. Yep. Is that clip? Bully McGuire dance, song, everything. Yep, we even did the little dance. Hey. I wish I had someone record it. It was funny as fuck. But what's funny is that everyone got the reference, and it made it that much better. And so, long story short, we get the party started. You know, we're all eating. We have, you know, tacos.
You can't go wrong with tacos.
I'm Mexican. Like, come on. You know, tacos are tacos are good any time of the day. And so everyone's dancing, everyone's having a good time, and then here comes the speeches. Her parents make a speech. I know her dad's was her favorite.
Yeah.
My mom makes a speech. My dad makes a speech. And my dad almost broke down. I saw some tears come out. But that man, I love you, Pops. What's up? I love my dad, but that man never really shows emotion. Not that he doesn't care, but Izzy knows. Izzy knows how my dad can be. Where it's almost like a Terminator, basically. But when he was speaking, his voice kind of broke down, and I saw Izzy's face, and she just had this look that went, "Aw," because my dad, like I said, this is my dad. And then at the end, he's like, "Oh, and I didn't know Izzy's name was actually Isabel. I just always thought it was Izzy." And so when I found out it was Isabel, he's like, "What the hell?" Yeah, and then my brother Alex, my best friend, gives his speech. That's the one that made me cry the most. That was my favorite, because he mentioned that in his speech, he mentioned that when he got married, I was crying instead because I thought my sister-in-law, Sarah, was trying to take him away, and I didn't like her, when I was a kid. Well, I love her now, of course. She's my sister. Mm-hmm. She's my sissy. And this part, what Alex said, got Izzy right in the heart, too. And he's all like, "Now I understand how Vicente felt. I'm not losing a brother today, but today I'm gaining another sister." And I can tell that got Izzy really, really good because I saw a tear come out of her eye.
Yeah, I after he said that, I started crying because I've always felt welcome in his family, but just to have that acknowledgement just meant so much to me.
Yeah, and then after that, we partied, danced, all that stuff. Yeah, Izzy got down with some of my family. I got down with her. It was beautiful. The wedding was beautiful. The music was beautiful. Mixture of rock, mixture of classic rap, hip hop, Spanish, everything. It was fun. But we were tired as fuck. Oh my God. Because we were doing bomb photos, the wedding couple, everything. And then we did our little goodbye walkout. We get to our hotel room, and we passed out.
Oh my God, I got a room with a hot tub, so we literally spent probably about 2 hours in there because we were so freaking tired.
Yeah, like I said, our wedding was beautiful, but at the end, I'm like, dude, I'm so fucking ready to just go in this hot tub. Because she told me ahead of time, hey, our hotel room has a hot tub. I'm like, oh my sweet Jesus. My feet were hurting. My legs were sore. I'm like, dude, I just want to get this over with.
Yeah.
And that's our lead up to the wedding and our wedding day. And now it's time for our honeymoon talk. Yeah. And I've never been to Disneyland. Never, ever been at all. And I love Marvel. I love Star Wars. And I felt like a fucking kid all over again. Definitely my favorite part was going to Star Wars Land at Disneyland. Not California's Adventures Park, but Disneyland.
Yeah. For me, I hadn't been since 2019, so I had never seen the Avengers Campus or Galaxy's Edge. So going there the first time was so amazing. I think my favorite part about going was seeing all the new additions, and I think as an adult going and paying for my own trip, it made me appreciate everything about Disney so much more.
Oh my God, and I'm not gonna lie, I spent a pretty penny at Disneyland because I got Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber, and I made my own lightsaber, purple. Purple to me is the best lightsaber color. Awesome. I bought web shooters because, of course, I'm a Spider-Man fan.
Yeah.
And what I loved is that when we would tell the cast members it was our honeymoon, some aren't allowed to take photos. They're just supposed to walk around. Whenever you told the cast member, they would take a photo with us. We're going to show some photos right now. We got a photo with Boba Fett, Mandalorian, and it was just so fucking cool. And then here comes Halloween Day, and this is my absolute favorite at Disneyland. I dress up as Anakin Skywalker. I have the black robes, his lightsaber. Izzy's dressed up as Grogu. We got some badass photos of Black Panther, Spider-Man, Captain America, Thor, even Loki. And it was just so much fun. And all of them were so sweet and nice, especially when we told them it was our honeymoon. They're like, it's your honeymoon.
Mm-hmm.
It was so cool. And we even saw Agatha, because it was a Halloween event.
Yeah.
It was Halloween day at California Adventures Park, Disneyland. And when we told her it was our honeymoon, she's like, oh, I'm happy for you. She was like giving us advice. She's like, but don't go to Wanda because, she lost vision. Little playful banter. And it was fun. And I tell people, if I can tell my 9-year-old self who was in love with Star Wars and Marvel, that one day he would actually go to Disneyland and see Darth Vader. Oh, I got to meet Darth Vader. Fucking awesome. Izzy has a video, and you guys will never see it, because to me it's a little embarrassing. Maybe one day I'll have her post it, but it's me talking to Darth Vader, calling him Lord Vader. Yes, Lord Vader. He's asking me, will I join the dark side, or will I be his apprentice? And that he senses the Force is strong in me. Like, it was, damn. It's so hard to describe the feeling, and it was a little scary. It was scary, but also cool, because he's a tall-ass dude, and, the voice and everything. Oh, funny, a little funny side story. So, as we're waiting for my appointment to go make the lightsaber at Galaxy's Edge, some stormtroopers come up. And, it's that thing, they walk around, the whole Galaxy's Edge part of Disneyland. And they're asking, like, oh, do you know where the Resistance is at? And me being a little smart ass, I'm like, oh, I'm part of the Resistance, and then they check out my Star Wars shirt, because I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt, where it's half Anakin, half Darth Vader, and they're going like this and stuff like that. And I yelled out saying, Darth Vader is better than Kylo Ren. And he turned around, and he said, we're going to have to bring back Kylo Ren. I'm like, okay, yeah, you go do that. And I'm thinking, oh, they're not going to bring back Kylo Ren.
5 minutes later.
Yep, and we're going to show the video right now. Them motherfuckers. Kylo Ren popped up out of nowhere, and Izzy looked at me, and I went, oh, shit. They really brought this man back. And Kylo Ren comes up to me, he's like, do you know where the Resistance is at? And I'm all like, yeah, I'm the Resistance. And he tells the stormtroopers, oh, do a better job at checking. And I'm not going to lie. Even though Kylo Ren is, in the Star Wars community, people call him Crybaby Kylo. Pretty fucking scary and close up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even Izzy told me, she's like, dude, I was being interrogated, and I was fucking scared.
I know. He was, the characters there they're really good, and it was really scary.
Yeah, the only downside, I guess, like, our honeymoon is that after Halloween, some rides and some attractions were closed down because of Christmas time, and it's understandable, you know. But what I wanted to do, I like the Jungle Cruise ride was fun, but my sister-in-law Sarah and others told me that at night is much more immersive. It closed down the entire week we were there.
Yeah, we rode it like the first day we got there, but then like the next day when we went to go ride it at night, it was completely closed. We were so sad.
Yeah, and I will say this right now, Rise of the Resistance, best ride at Disneyland. Yeah. Best ride at the park.
As a Disney goer who's been there a couple of times, Rise of the Resistance is the most immersive ride Disneyland has. And
despite your feelings about the sequel trilogy when it comes to Star Wars, you're going to feel like you're a Star Wars in this ride. Like, it's that fun. I'm not the biggest fan of the sequel trilogy. I can still enjoy it, but I'm just like, whatever. I saw fun with it, seeing Finn, seeing Rey, seeing Poe, seeing General Hux, seeing BB-8, and seeing Kylo Ren chase you around the ship. Oh, it was so fun. Even the stormtroopers, we're going to show a video right now where all their legions and stuff like that was fucking awesome. It was immersive as hell. It was just so much cool.
Yeah, and then I feel like all the shops that were in Galaxy's Edge were really cool.
Oh,
because they had so many, like, little animatronics within the shops of, like, the different types of animals. And even the cast members who were in the land wouldn't even talk about other stuff in the park. They're like, oh, this is Galaxy's Edge. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it was cool. They were playing their characters. Yeah. So, I hope to get a raise for that, because that was awesome. Avengers Campus, I loved it. And one more story before we, sadly end this episode. Here comes the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. I have heard so many things about this fucking ride. And my dumbass really looked up what it was. And Izzy's like, oh yeah, look up there at the tower for Guardians of the Galaxy. That motherfucker is super high. And it goes to the very top. And then it opens up. And you see people when the window opens up. And then there's a flash because it takes a photo, and you drop hella fast. I look at Izzy, I'm like, dude, I don't want to do this. Like, I mean, I'll do it, But she wanted to go on it twice on the same day. Once during the day, which we're doing right now, and once at night because it's much more immersive. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't want to do this. Like, I'm getting hella scared. Like, I'm shaking. Izzy feels me shaking. And she's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, sure. I'm hella scared. I'm generally terrified. And right, we're about to get on the ride. Izzy looks at me, she's like, you know what? No, I think I'm good if we do this only once. I'm like, good.
I forgot how terrifying it was.
And so we buckled down. Thank God we got seated in the back. Because I could do the front, but I think the back, to me, I feel a little bit more safe and secure. Holy shit. This ride was fucking intense. And so it starts out. You back up a little bit. Rocket starts to ride, and all of a sudden you woo, like go hella high, and you go super fast, and all of a sudden it's like it goes high, boom, and then drops, and like it goes up and down hella fast and shit like that, almost like you're floating. And dude, for me, being a big guy, I'm only like 260 pounds. I was fucking like everyone was floating, like you literally fly in the fucking air. Like, it was scary, and someone else was holding onto my arm and shit like that. It was scary. And here comes the moment where we go up, and we see the entirety of the park when the window opens up. I'm like, fuck, we are high. This is fucking scary. And then they take the photo. Yep, hella fast. But I liked it. To me, I think just because I overplayed it being hella scary, to me, I not overhyped it, but I just scared myself thinking that it was going to be a lot more worse.
Yeah, I mean, this ride, I remember riding it as little kid as Tower of Terror, and it was the same ride, just different features, but it was such a good ride. Definitely don't wear ears, because mine fell off. I think like 2 or 3 times.
And if you got a bag, put everything in that bag. Yeah. Because her phone almost fell out.
Yeah, it was bad.
And I love the ride so much, I think we went on it like 3 more times.
Yeah.
Like during the entirety of the week of our honeymoon.
So which version was your favorite? The original or the Halloween?
I would say the original.
The original?
Yeah, just because like you see all the Guardians. Because you had 2 different versions. The one during the Halloween season, it's the monsters are attacking you and Rocket's trying to find Baby Groot. And the other ones, you're trying to rescue the Guardians with Rocket. It was a lot of fun. You know, the Spider-Man ride was pretty fun. Cars Land was fucking fun. You know, all the rides were amazing at California Adventures.
Oh yeah, and then for the day right before we left, we actually got a dinner reservation at the Lamplight Lounge.
Yeah, and it was beautiful at night.
We got set at night, and we sat on the water, which was probably the most amazing view that we had our entire trip. Yeah,
everything was perfect that night.
Yeah.
And then we come home, and then it's a day leaving, and I'm sad. She's sad, but honestly, we're planning on going to Disneyland again next year. We're going to try to bring my family. I think we're going to try to talk to them because what we paid wasn't really that bad. I mean, yeah, we still paid, you know, a pretty penny. But compared to others, it's like, okay, this wasn't really that bad, you know?
Yeah.
And plus, we got extra perks with it, which will be, you know, a story for another time. But, yep, that's the story of our wedding and our honeymoon. Thank you guys for listening. Next week, we're going to come out with a film review. I'm not going to say which one it is. It is a horror movie. But it's part of a franchise, but we're just going to do the first movie.
Yeah.
Just because I heard the sequels suck. But, yeah, I hope you guys are happy that we're back, you know. Been wanting to do this again. I know we said we're going to do the Star Wars movies, but like we said, we just got so busy with life. You know, we come back from our honeymoon. It's literally Thanksgiving in 2 weeks. We're like, shit. And then here comes Christmas and then New Year's Eve. We're just so busy with the holidays. Eventually, one day, we will do the Star Wars movie. Don't worry. You know. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. As always, thank you guys for checking us out. We're happy to be back. We missed you. We love you guys, and we'll catch you next episode. Peace out, everyone.
Bye, guys.